So, you're just getting started with Sons of the Forest and have absolutely no idea how to build your very own base? Well, good news, because in this video I'm going to share everything you need to know about it. From foundation to roof, even decorating your place, make everybody feel very welcome, and give you tips and tricks on how to chop down trees properly. So, without further ado, let's get right to it. If you enjoyed my content, be sure to leave a like, by the way. It helps out the channel big time, you have no idea. Alright, so here we are where we left off with my ultimate beginner guide, which you can find at the top right of the screen, which basically explains everything you need to know to get started with the game. But in this one, we're going to focus on the building. So we already prepared a couple logs right here. But the first thing you want to know when you start building your first base is that when you chop down trees, they basically fall down to where you're looking at. So you should always first chop down the other side of the tree. So then you can turn around and chop down towards where you want them to fall down. In this case, everything is getting piled up in the center, so it's going to be much more efficient, much easier to collect all the logs and start building. Next thing we want to do is get rid of these tree stumps. So if you open up your crafting menu, right here you can see all the basic crafts, which we talked about in the previous video. But if you switch the mode, you can also go to ones which are blueprints, basically. So you can place them down just like the log storage we have to the left. We can also do that with bone storage or a drying rack, which we have behind us. So you basically just have to place it down. And then afterwards you have to throw some sticks at it and bam, there you go. So now we can dry even more meat, definitely interesting for your early game adventures. But now we're gonna switch the modes and we're gonna focus on building staircases, walls, practically our first cabin in the woods. So we're gonna hold our inventory, take out our axe. So if you stand above them, you will see this red line, which indicates that you can cut them in half. So then you will make half planks. So now we want to determine where exactly we want to place the lodge. And I think I'm going to do this pretty close to the water. Choose our location, then look downwards and rotate with the corresponding keybinds to make sure we have it in the right direction. I think this is going to be nice. And then we're going to just left click. And this will place down one of the logs. Then you want to stand at the arrow, because if you throw another one right there, they will basically connect. Take two more full logs. So we're going to do this one more time right here and another one there. So there we have it. So now we have our beginning of the foundation. The only thing we have to do is throw some half planks on top of it, once again with the arrow indication. And that's our final one. So now we have our first foundation ready. If you don't want to spend too much time building, I recommend you to start off with a 2x2 foundation. You can always expand the build. And what's also pretty interesting is that you can also deconstruct everything. So say you are not very happy with the shape, you can basically hold the deconstruct button and you can pick up these logs. We can basically place them on the other side. If something is not yet supported, it will always look a little bit funky, while if you connect it with the rest, there you have it, it will look much better. While you can only pick up 2 whole logs, you can actually go with 4 half ones. But what is pretty interesting is that when you still hold the full ones, you can actually cleave them while you're standing in front of it. So then you don't have to do this task beforehand. Of course, to finish the build, you're gonna have to bring some half planks separately to finish it off. But there we have it, a full foundation of 2x2. Next thing we're going to do is take a couple more of these full logs and we're going to make some beams on the corners. So we're going to place one with the left mouse right there, just face downwards. Then you will be able to see where you can stick them in the ground, let's say. We're also going to do that for the inner walls, as then the building is going to be much stronger. And then we can add a couple more logs to basically plan the infrastructure of what we want it to look like. So I think this is already a pretty good start. Now we basically have to fill in the walls, and Kelvin is just chilling in the back right there, taking a little break from all the wood cutting. But I'm gonna need more wood, bro. You're gonna have to help me out with this. But we've got plenty more logs right here. This also is pretty interesting. So if you're standing in the middle, let's say, you can actually jump. So if you quickly spam the left mouse button, you'll be able to place one right on top of it, which we can now connect to make a nice roof design. See? So now we've got something that looks a little bit like this. I think already a pretty good start. Next, we want to fill in the walls and make a roof. This is also pretty easy. You just have to throw logs at the empty spots. This is gonna take quite some logs, so once again, if you want to start exploring as quick as possible, don't want to waste too much time on the building, just go with a 2x2 as it's gonna be big enough for your early adventures. Anyways, right now we have enough logs to finish the build. I'm also going to quickly save and take a nap, as you never know, sometimes your game can freeze, which happens quite frequently with early access games. Well, it's also very important to store all your logs or use them before you log out, because last time when I logged out and logged back in, I basically lost every single one of them. So I think storing them in containers is going to be better, or simply finish your build with it. So the first thing we're going to need right here is a door to protect ourselves from harm, right? So what we're gonna do is take a couple more logs, and you basically want to place them exactly at the location of the door. Don't worry, you can always remove them if you decide to go with another location. But what's very important is that once you've placed every single log, you have the indication right here that you can chop some holes out of it. The nice thing is we can use these half logs for other constructions as well. So if we have a couple more half logs, 3 in total, we can make a door exactly right here. So if you place them down, see, throw them right next to each other. And if you have 3 in total, they will serve as a door. I don't think it's possible to change the looks of the door. If you find out how, let us know in the comments, but I think it's always the rough side, which you see on the outside. The lighter one is inside. Still looks pretty nice though. But right now, I think we should also take care of the roof. So what I think is going to be a very nice technique for that, to do it easily, is place a single beam in the very center, which you can use to walk up there, while we're going to have to place an extra beam for additional support. Now we're going to take those half logs and we're going to bring them to the roof. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. The whole logs are fine as well if you don't want to waste time on this. Oh, wow. We just placed them on the other side. That seems to work as well. So now if we want to fill in the front and the back, we can place a beam right here as well. And we want to make some logs a little bit shorter. So we're going to take a whole log, we're going to stand in front of it and wait for it to be on 3/4 in length. And then we can swing the axe. We're going to do the same for this guy. And there we go. See? And with the half logs we've created earlier, we can do this. But now, finally, we also want to get rid of the tarp. This is no longer going to be our place to sleep. So what you're going to do is open up your building menu, then switch the mode. And right now we can basically place some furniture. So if we go to the 3rd tab, we have a stick bed, stick chairs. But the most important one right here is definitely the stick bed. We're going to need 16 sticks. Very nice that you can see this in the bottom left. While what I also recommend you to do, say Kelvin messes up and chops down trees to the wrong direction, is to place some of these blockers. Because if trees fall in the river, they will basically flow all the way down. While right now, I actually have these 2 set up, so if they do fall in there, they will get blocked by it, so we don't lose the logs. I mean, it's the gold of the forest, right? For even a very small 2x2 cabin, you're already gonna have to get rid of many of those. There we go. Right now we can save at this very location and also use it as rest. So right now we can deconstruct all these, pick up the twigs and use them for something else. Well, of course, right here, there is plenty more to choose from. Many templates or blueprints, which you can just select. For example, a shelf. And the cool thing is you can also store items on these shelves. You definitely want to get your hands on a planter as well. So you can plant seeds, which are essential for survival on this island. There we go. Now we can add some plants to it. Salmon berries. And ooh, we've got our first visitor. And we just finished the house. Kelvin, what are you doing, bro? He's already eating some dirt. Delicious. But I do want to take care of these guys. But yeah, you are only limited by your imagination. You can make the place look however you like. Make everybody feel welcome, let's say, at your cute little cottage in the forest. Ladies and gentlemen, a big thanks for watching. That's everything for today. Now you know how to build your own place. Be sure to leave a like if you found it helpful. And of course, stay in the loop with future videos, as plenty more is coming your way. If you have any questions or suggestions though for future videos, make sure to leave them in the comments down below. I'd love to hear them. Right now though, it is 4 AM out. I want to wish you good luck with your survival adventure. Have an awesome day. Till next time.